runs the floor, defensive presence, but his offense really has been the big key this year for this Miami team. He's been really good for them, efficient from the floor.
Syracuse on the road in the orange uniforms. Miami here at home in the green. Eric Lewis, Pat Driscoll, Tony Chiazza, the three officials tonight. Miami opened up ACC play 0-10, but they're trying to make it wins in 2 of their last 3 as they work against this zone of Syracuse. Matthew Cleveland hangs in the air, gets the bounce, and the guy who scored 20 in 6 straight has an early bucket. The Syracuse starting lineup tonight talked about J.J. Starling, great guard, but Jair Davis has picked up his production recently. Lampkin, the big man. Starling darts to the lane, flips it in with the left to even the score early.
And that's set up by Lampkin, setting a screen. Again, a lot of times we don't talk about bigs that screen. Eddie Lampkin that time set a hard screen for J.J. Starling, freed him up to get down the lane. Excellent screening early on.
Yeah, Lynn Kidd has his hands full with Lampkin. Those two going at it in the post here. Brandon Johnson, 7 to shoot. Kicks, Cleveland spots up, buries the 3. 5 straight early in the game for Matthew Cleveland.
I was here 2 hours before the game. Matthew Cleveland was out here by himself taking those exact shots. His improved offensive production, in particular from beyond the arc, I think a big reason why he's going to play at the next level in the league.
Lampkin won't get the bounce. You beat it to me, Huck. I had that lined up as well. I was going to talk about how he was the first one out on the floor 2 hours before.
It's, again, the work that he has put in really is paying off.
Lynn Kidd won't get it to go at the left, and Lampkin, who had 18 rebounds the other night, has his first.
And we talked with Red Autry before the game. He said the one thing they've really done well is rebound the ball. Big reason why Eddie Lampkin, again, he's a guy, leads the ACC close to 4 offensive rebounds per game. And that's just a big body down there, bouncing around right on cue. He just uses his body really well. If you're Miami, you're going to have to start thinking about digging or doubling. Again, I think that's a tough matchup for Lynn Kidd, giving up a lot of size.
He didn't have to worry about an offensive rebound that trip.
No.
Brandon Johnson kicks it back out. Cleveland, who's got all 5 for Miami, had it tapped from behind by J.J. Starling. He's got a 2-on-1, glides to the rack and flips it in.
One of the most difficult guys to stop in transition. Once J.J. Starling gets a full head of steam, good luck trying to keep him out of the paint. That is a tough move in transition by one of the better guards in college basketball.
28 in that triple overtime win against Boston College. Jalil Bethea has the answer right away for Miami.
Well, scouts are here for this guy as well, too. Jalil Bethea, again, came in with a big reputation. That's a nice, under-control pull-up jumper. He's one of the more athletic freshmen you'll see in college basketball.
5-star recruit, was a top 10 player in high school last year. A lot of expectations were on him coming into this season. Fall-away jumper won't go for Jair Davis. True freshman point guard here, Uachukwu. Cleveland absorbs contact, and he's got free throws coming up. Bill Courtney is the interim head coach for Miami. Took over 11 games ago, December 26th, after Jim Larinaga announced he was stepping down. Did miss the last game due to illness. Good to see him back and healthy on the sideline. First thing we asked him today, how you doing? He said, I'd much rather be here than where I was last game.
And he's done a nice job. Again, we walked into this shoot-around. The energy was different. They had a nice win against Notre Dame. At Louisville, again, you look at that score, they were right within arm's reach of Louisville, a team that I think is going to be a deep NCAA tournament run type team. They're very good. So, again, doing a nice job keeping these guys focused and also energetic.
And Louisville's been blowing teams out recently, too.
I had them against SMU on the road at SMU, and it wasn't close. Again, they're very good. So, again, credit to the coaching staff of Miami doing a good job keeping these guys focused. We saw the energy. Again, it was real. The guys were locked into the scouting report. It was an energetic shoot-around, and again, not an easy circumstance for them to be under. As we take
Eddie Lampkin flying down the lane with the hammer.
We talked about it, end to tip. Again, his energy, his presence end to post. That's a nice little pass and finish by Lampkin, though.
Pulls Syracuse within a point, a little over 4 minutes in. Djobet misfires on the three. Kidd had the rebound and a whistle against Syracuse.
We talked with him prior to the game about his progression as a coach, and we equated it to coming in as freshman and then that sophomore year. And certainly, again, it's a process dealing with some injuries as well, without some key players for the season now, and obviously a big portion without J.J. Starling, his best player. So
Lynn Kidd hits that jump to give Miami a 3-point lead. Yeah, not many teams have had to go multiple games without their two best players. That's been the case this year for Syracuse.
Certainly, again, you look at any team around the league, I don't care if it's Duke, you take away Cooper, Flagg, and Knipple, or you take with Louisville, you take away Hepburn or Rain Smith, you're going to struggle.
Cleveland finishes. 9 early points for Matthew Cleveland, who's been on a tear in the last 6 games.
Well, Eddie Lampkin, though, right now, shaken up. Again, I didn't see it on the play what happened, but it looks like he's bleeding. Down on the baseline right now, getting attended to. And again, we were blocked out, but they're going to take a look at what happened. Again, from our angle, we couldn't really see. We were focused on the drive by Cleveland.
Well, he has to take a seat now with Naheem McLeod, this 7'4" senior, replacing him. And the officials over at the monitor, they're going to take a look at this and see if there was any sort of contact there.
And you said 7'4", Naheem McLeod. But right here, again, take a look. Drive by Cleveland.
I think maybe that off arm of
but
Cleveland.
Really, from that angle, still a little blocked out. But I don't think anything other than a guy just trying to shield off somebody. Yeah, that's where it was right there.
Yep.
Now, again, I don't think it's a natural reaction. Guys coming up trying to block it. It's not a flagrant where he's wanted. And I like what this officiating crew did. Veteran crew took a look, saw a look. It was a basketball play. It wasn't a guy winding up trying to throw an elbow. It's a guy going up, and I've been in that situation in games. You're going up against a big. They're trying to block your shot.
Quick spurt for Miami out of the timeout. They've scored the last 4, got a 5-point lead a little more than 5 minutes in. Elijah Moore, true freshman, who was a big boost on Saturday. 10 to shoot. Moore elevates. Too strong. McLeod brought it down and had it whisked away from him.
And that's the key thing. When he gets that, he's got to chin it. Cannot bring it down, give those guards a chance to get that.
The lob inside. Here's Kidd, surrounded by the entire team for Syracuse. It's blocked from behind, and then Kidd was the last to touch it. Syracuse ball.
And that's great team defense. You're absolutely right. Miami recognized the mismatch, throw it over the top, but that's great help defense. They came and doubled, forcing a turnover. Excellent team defense by Syracuse.
Syracuse trying to make it back-to-back wins after the 3 overtime winner against Boston College on Saturday. Quick turnaround for them after a marathon of a game. Starling lobs it inside, deflected away. Djobet got a hand on it, but Syracuse still has it. Starling lobs, and it's thrown down by Davis.
Hustle play. That's all set up by J.J. Starling getting a 50-50 ball. Again, those little things add up right there. Excellent hustle, and then heads-up play to throw the lob by J.J. Starling. Syracuse has switched up their defense. They've shown a little bit of zone. Now they're back man-to-man.
4 to shoot. Djobet for 3. Short. McLeod's there to snag the rebounds. Is that just a matter of trying to keep them on their toes, Miami offensively?
I think so, absolutely. And again, give them different looks. That time forced a long contested three. And the key thing is they cleared the defensive rebound. Again, back to the earlier point, Red Autry, when we spoke to him, he said, look, that's one of the things they've done pretty well, defensive rebound.
Tough shot halfway down before it popped out by Taylor. It's a one and done for Cuse. Johnson thought about it, extra pass, corner. Bethea, down and out. Transition, that three's blocked by Cleveland. Almost got a steal, but it leads to a wide open look for Taylor, too strong. Ugachukwu, 2-on-3, doesn't matter, he's going right at him and finishes.
Beautiful Euro step that time, in transition, strong move.
Had 10 points against Louisville this week, and the most he's had in an ACC game for the true freshman. Moore does not have the answer. Cleveland battling with McLeod for the rebound. It stays with Syracuse.
Well, the freshman right here, he's shooting the ball well from the three-point line, and he's one of the best defenders in college basketball. He can guard really 1 through 4 defensively. That's his bread and butter, but then when he's added that offensive firepower as well, too, he's going to be a guy I think is going to play at the next level in the league.
2 years at Florida State, now 2 with Miami, and when he came in, he was ready defensively, but took him a little bit to get the offense going. That is swatted by Bethea, the true freshman for Miami.
When we spoke with Coach Bill Courtney about Jalil Bethea, he said that's the biggest area of improvement that they've challenged him to. Look, they know he's talented offensively. Will he get after it on the defensive end? They said he has stepped up as of late and been better on the defensive side of the ball.
Reload for 3, and it goes through. That's Paul Djobet. Sophomore from France checks in, immediately makes an impact to give Miami their largest lead of this first half.
If I'm Syracuse, I'd give Eddie Lampkin a touch in the post. Let him get a couple of post touches. See if you can play through him.
He sets about 4 screen in the matter of 5 seconds. Has the ball in the post. 6 to shoot. Kicks out. Bell steps into a mid-range jumper, and he cans it.
That's nice offense by Syracuse. Again, give Lampkin a touch. Force Miami to double. If they don't, let him go to work that time. Lampkin throws it out. And Bell with a nice little head fake and then pull-up jumper. Excellent patience and spacing by Syracuse.
Well, that's the thing. He doesn't always need to score it, but you get him a touch, good things happen. Well, good things happen when Cleveland's got it. Wave off the bucket, though. They say it's on the floor. He can't believe it.
Now, I know the NBA scouts are here, but that's definitely, you're not going to get that continuation right here. Again, yeah, right there, clearly on the floor before he started his shooting motion. But, again, I like what Miami's doing. Again, they like that matchup. Well, they're just going to isolate him on the wing, force Syracuse to make a decision.
He's got the height advantage on Kyle Cuff. Faces up against him here. Help side comes over. Can't connect. Eddie Lampkin snatches the rebound.
Yeah, that's a great team defense again by Syracuse. Coming over and giving some help to Cuff, who's given up a lot of size.
Post feed to Majstorovic, who spins. Baseline drops it off for Lampkin, who's got 2 free throws headed his way.
Great interior passing that time. Majstorovic to Lampkin. Again, big to big. And that's, I think, the area right here again. If you're Syracuse, play through your post players. Let those guys get touches and then force, again, Miami to make a decision. That time, Majstorovic with the clear size advantage on Cleveland. Miami came with the double. Majstorovic gave it up early.
Great pass from one big man to another. Eddie Lampkin hits the first free throw. Four quick points for Syracuse, and the Orange have cut the deficit to 4. Midway mark of the first half.
Yeah, and Lampkin screaming at his teammates' encouragement. Hey, let's go. They understand the importance of this game.
Paul Djobet won't get the bounce. Here's Cuff all the way to the cup. It's blocked. And last off of Syracuse, Miami ball.
That's another great recovery that time in transition. That's twice now Miami has gotten back in transition, come up with blocks. This time right here, they get a turnover out of it. Yeah, again, this is just great hustle. Looked like Cuff was going to have a uncontested layup.
Both of those blocks by freshmen, too, recovering in transition for the Hurricanes. Here's Kidd. He wants the isolation. One-on-one against Lampkin. Hooks it up, but left it short. Carlos bounces to Cuff. Skip. Bell elevates for three and buries it.
Great offense. Carlos and Cuff. Dribble drive, collapse the defense, and then that's a breakdown. If you're Miami, Bell is the one guy you cannot give him any space. Excellent spacing again and passing by Syracuse.
Lampkin got the block, but then the second effort from A.J. Stanton-McCray ends a 7-0 run for Syracuse. Lampkin working on Kidd. There is a whistle, and if that's on Kidd, that's two. But it's not. It's on A.J. Stanton-McCray.
Again, right here, again, look at the ball movement. Cuff with a beautiful diagonal pass. And again, that's a breakdown. Miami, there's guys in the scouting report that you can't leave. Bell's still one of the better three-point shooters in the ACC. And again, you give him airspace, he's pretty much going to make you pay if you give him that much room and time.
He got off to a little bit of a slow start shooting-wise this season, but Adrian Autry was telling us right before the game today, he said his play has caught up, meaning the shooting has started taking off for Chris Bell the last few games.
And I think, you know, we talked with the great SID, Pete Moore, about just his mindset. And Red Autry was there as well, too. And him coming off the bench, I think, relieved him a little bit.
Yes.
Now he's not worrying about, you know, am I coming in and out of the game? He's getting a different perspective, and he comes in off the bench, and his production, they're going to need it.
Ugachukwu draws a whistle. It's so nice to be able to bring that kind of offensive threat off the bench, too.
Look, for me, Chris Bell still one of the more talented players in the ACC. Obviously, we've talked about his shooting, but I think the thing that Red Autry talked about as well, too, is his defense. Can't just be a shooter. We need his defense and rebounding when he's in the game as well, too.
Kidd has one-on-one against Lampkin again. Three to shoot. Djobet gets all the way to the basket and lays it in.
That's a beautiful hezzy. Froze him and then went strong with the left.
And Bell was standing on the sideline. Syracuse turnover. Got a good one, don't we?
We do, and look, the deciding game
yes.
For them. Now, again, they got a tough road. 4 of their last 7 on the road. They got to go to Pittsburgh, have to go to SMU, Virginia Tech. But, again, games like that, when you look back and how tight it is for making the ACC tournament, that's one certainly you want to mark.
Brandon Johnson can't connect on a 3 out of the timeout. Yeah, certainly when you're just a half game up on the 15th and final spot for the ACC tournament, any win you can get is crucial. Lampkin, deep post position, that's an easy 2.
If I'm Syracuse, I'm giving him a touch every time. He was pretty much underneath the basket. If he gets that good a position, throw it to him. And now Miami, it's not even a question. You got to double, in particular, when he catches the ball that deep.
A.J. Stanton-McCray, who's coming off a season-high 22 against Louisville, drills the 3.
And then on the other end, right now, it's just too easy. Miami getting high percentage looks.
Majstorovic bounces. This is Cuff rising for 3. No. And the ball's stuck. Can you climb up there and get it?
No, I certainly am not. I'm not even sure if they're going to be able to knock that one off. That is a weird spot. Now, look at our camera guy. Yeah.
Beat the broom. There we go. Save the day.
Well, back to that previous possession, Eddie Lampkin had great post position. That's a missed opportunity. Again, even if you're open in that situation, if he's got the ball, if he catches the ball 2 feet underneath the basket, you got to throw that one to him right there.
He's got 10 points and 2 assists already, so about 2/3 of the points have come through Eddie Lampkin for Syracuse. Staten McCray gets into the center of that Syracuse defense. Johnson kicks to the corner. Ugachukwu back to Johnson. 4 to shoot. They got to get something up. 1 to shoot. Swartz way off the mark. And Lampkin snags his 3rd rebound.
And that might be Syracuse's best defensive possession. Got Miami deep in the shot clock, closed out, and forced a deep contested 3.
Bell attacks baseline, squeezes through the defense, doesn't get it to roll through, but he is fouled.
And back to this previous possession again. Look at Eddie Lampkin where he's at. Right there. That ball needs to be entered into the post to him right there, number 44. Again, that's a missed opportunity right there. He's got it going early. Be patient. If it comes off of a kick out, off of a double, yes. But he needs to get a paint touch pretty much, I think, every offensive possession, in particular with Len Kidd on the bench.
Well, Miami also hasn't shown an answer for him defensively yet either.
No, they have not. And Lampkin again amped up in this game. Doing a nice job establishing post position.
Chris Bell already has 7 off the bench for Syracuse. That was the 2nd foul on A.J. Staten McCray for Miami. Ugachukwu kicks. Johnson over the top of Lampkin. Way too strong. Starling, look at the speed, accelerating into the lane and floats it in.
I'm going to say it again. Once he gets ahead of steam going in transition, good luck trying to keep him out of the paint. Great body control and strength finishing through contact.
Johnson blows by on the baseline, but threw it away. Pass tipped, and Johnson intercepts it. Miami has numbers. Cleveland splits the double team and lays it in. He's already got 11.
Both teams getting up and down in transition. Cleveland again, another tough finish, and he's already in double digits in the first half.
17th time this season he's had at least 10. He's scored 20 plus in 6 consecutive entering tonight. Now he's got the defense on Davis to force the miss. Offensive rebound, Lampkin, and he's fouled. The ACC's best offensive rebounder earns a trip to the line for a second chance.
You better put a body on Eddie Lampkin. Again, you said it, the best in the ACC. Close to 4 offensive rebounds per game. And I just love how he uses his body. Again, you better find him early, because once he's around the basket, you're not going to move him.
He took another shot to the face on that one, too. That's the 2nd time that's happened to him.
It has, but he's given out a lot of those as well, too. He's had guys bouncing off him, and right on cue, the answer, get Len Kidd back into the game to try to match up with Lampkin. And both these bigs, we talked about it, no, they're so efficient. Both guys shoot a very high percentage from the floor.
The free throw line today, too, for Eddie Lampkin. He's just a 54% free throw shooter, but now 6 of 6.
And I'm not sure why it's that low, because he's got nice mechanics. It doesn't look like it's an awkward or a funky shot, so certainly it's been huge since he's been at the line a lot.
Ugachukwu rattles in the 3 to give Miami the lead back. True freshman that they planned on redshirting this year, but had a great summer. Coaching staff sat down with him and his family and said, we think we can benefit from having you play this year right away, and they are certainly glad they went that route. Bell with a step back 3. He's got the immediate response.
Red Autry talked about his production as of late, and it's been huge. Guy playing starter minutes, still one of the better offensive threats in the ACC. And Jalil Bethea, though, with the answer.
Great look from the corner. Short this time, though, from Starling.
And great block out that time by Lampkin, keeping Eddie Lampkin off the glass.
He now gets a touch, faces up against Lampkin, and knocks down a mid-range jumper. Look at Kidd getting out on the hedge. Davis kicks. Corner, Bell steps in. 15-foot baseline jumper is pure.
That's beautiful. And Chris Bell's done that twice now in this game. Everybody knows he can shoot. Poor closeout, little ball fake, and then nice 1-2 pull-up jumper. Excellent offense by Syracuse and patience by Chris Bell.
Bethea, we are just trading buckets back and forth.
Oh, we said there's a lot of NBA scouts, 5 in the building. They are getting an offensive show. The freshman, Bethea.
5 straight makes from the field for Miami. The lead is now 5 for the Canes. Carlos has 5 to shoot. Works into the lane, falls away. Too strong. Ugachukwu all the way to the basket. Make it 6 straight makes from the field for the Miami, and the Hurricanes have stretched that lead out to 7. Timeout, Syracuse.
Syracuse, we talked with Coach Red Autry about it. He said, look, our transition defense has not been good as of late. We must do a good job against this Miami team in transition defense.
Well, now they're picking up the defense, too. Syracuse gets a good look from Bell. That's his first miss of the day after starting 4 for 4. And it's Miami ball.
You can't ask for a better look. Again, Miami changed their defense up, went full court. They broke it, patient. Chris Bell wide open in the corner. You'll live with that if you're Coach Red Autry. That's a pretty good look.
9-2 run for Miami since this was tied 30-30 a couple minutes ago, thanks to 6 straight makes by Miami. Cleveland spins, got Bell up in the air, and free throws are coming for Matthew Cleveland. Matthew Cleveland got out to such a hot start.
And as we take a look, Jalil Bethea, early on, he would have probably thrown that lob. Again, that's a heads-up play. It's little things. Again, his progression. When we talk with Coach Bill Courtney about Jalil Bethea, he says it's a little thing. Look, he's probably one of the most talented freshmen that we've had in quite some time in terms of offensively, but it's little things like that. May not show, it's not going to show up in the scouting report, but again, understanding what they're doing, not throwing the ball away, not throwing that lob, it wasn't there, made the extra pass, and then got Cleveland posted.
Davis, pass deflected, and it's a backcourt violation. Not just the offense that we're talking about for Miami, but the defense has picked up too.
Well, they're questioning right now, J.J. Starling saying, again, he didn't touch it. Again, let's see.
There you go.
Yeah, now let's see. Yeah. Again, yeah, he didn't touch it, and it was deflected off. Miami deflected it. Now, he was in on the opposite side, not backcourt when he caught it. Went to make a jump pass, but deflected by Miami. Good job by the officials.
So Syracuse does keep the basketball, trying to cut into this 9-point deficit. Minute and a half before halftime. Starling, no. Kidd the rebounds. Miami's got a chance to grow what is already their largest lead of the day. 3 swirls out from Cleveland. Taylor gets into the lane, ran into his own teammate. Carlos rejects the screen, kicks it out. Here's Taylor. 5 to shoot. Carlos attacks baseline over 2 defenders. No, but Cloud the offensive rebound and stick back.
Grown man move. And that's what Red Autry said he wants from Naheem McLeod. Use that wide, big body, and go strong. That's a big-time offensive rebound putback.
Miami takes its use it or lose it timeout with 38 seconds before halftime. 7-point lead for Miami. They got one more possession to try to make that.
Offensive glass.
In pregame today, he was standing next to 6'11" Eddie Lampkin. I looked at you and I said, he makes Lampkin look small. And believe me, Eddie Lampkin is not small.
The only other person I think bigger, as you take a look at Cleveland.
What a strong take from Matthew Cleveland.
Taco Fall is the only other human being that I've seen in person that makes other guys look really, really small. But Cleveland continues his great play in this first half, up to 15 points.
Shot clock turned off. 10 seconds left before halftime. Davis kicks to the corner. Carlos swings, open look, and Taylor drills it. Oh, the 3 went from way beyond half court.
Some into contested jumpers.
Miami shooting 55% from the field. They went on a big run at the end of the half thanks to 7 of their last 8 from the field. It was tied 30 apiece with a few minutes to go. Miami up 6 at the start of the second half. Davis gets a great look for Syracuse, and just like that, the Orange have pulled it to within a possession.
That's a great set to start the second half. Little wheel cut. They basically drag the whole defense down to Lampkin, and then they get a nice little pin down, wide open jumper. Excellent execution to start the second half.
Lampkin and Bell with 12 apiece to lead Syracuse. We talked about Cleveland's 15 leads the way for all scores. Syracuse got a 3 right before the first half buzzer. They got another 3 on the first possession of this second half, and they've quickly taken a 9-point deficit down to 3, but this won't fall from J.J. Starling. Ugachukwu, the true freshman point guard, gives way to another true freshman in Bethea. Cleveland darts all the way to the cup. It's swiped away, but a whistle comes in on Syracuse, and it's on Lucas Taylor. His second.
And that time, Taylor opened up too much. Again, Cleveland, a right-handed driver, he basically forced him to his right hand. Again, watch the closeout. You got to get on his right, try to force him back left or play him straight up. And again, you don't want to close out and give a guy a driving lane, in particular to his strong hand.
Nearly half of the points from Matthew Cleveland. 6 straight games of at least 20. Went over 1,500 career points on Saturday against Louisville.
And Bill Courtney and staff have done a nice job. You know, again, they talked about his leadership. They said he's really been the guy to step up and take on that leadership role. And
great 2-man game in transition, and it finishes with a flush from Lampkin.
They may need to check the rim. My goodness, Eddie Lampkin bringing the thunder. And that is great execution in transition. Lampkin doing a nice job running the floor.
And now he's got the defense against Kidd.
And again, right here, the big fellow get it back, and then take off the rim. Ball barely touched the ground. That's great transition offense by Syracuse. And Miami, again, in the first half, they bothered Syracuse a few times with their full court pressure. That time, much better breaking the press by Syracuse.
Cleveland rises over the top of the shorter Taylor, and he connects. I mean, sometimes there's just no answer for this guy.
Yeah, I mean, again, that's not bad defense, but his length, that's what's intrigued the NBA scouts. He's a guy 6'5", 6'6", very long, athletic, and he just shot over him.
Ugachukwu with a steal. He's got a 3-on-2, takes it himself, won't hit, and it's tapped out by Syracuse. Ball stays on this end.
Well, Ugachukwu has really impressed me. Again, a guy they weren't starting at the beginning of the season. It was Nigel Pack, obviously Miami without Nigel Pack. So Ugachukwu steps into the point guard role. He's done a nice job, shown some flashes Future bright for this young freshman point guard.
Bethea, another freshman with a really bright future.
The second guy to come out early before this game, Jalil Bethea. Again, his work that he's put in, I think the biggest thing, he's played really under control tonight, everything within the offense.
Starling with a nice crossover, charges into the lane and banks it in.
Well, we build this a matchup of two of the better guards in the ACC, and they have not disappointed. That's a tough move by J.J. Starling.
Kid thought about the mid-range jumper. Now Bethea works off the screen. Ugachukwu spots up. Lampkin snags the rebound for Syracuse.
And that's a pretty good read by Bethea. Ugachukwu not able to get the three, but again, nice decision that time by Jalil Bethea. Dribble drive off the snake of the ball screen and then kick it out.
Taylor gets it into Lampkin. Double team comes over for Miami. Starling got the defender to fly by all the way to the rack, and he's fouled.
Starling grabs his wrist and hand, but that's kind of like the hockey assist right there for Eddie Lampkin. They doubled down. Look at that, nice pass out of the double team, and then great patience that time by J.J. Starling. And it was the landing right there, but again, I think if you're Syracuse, you continue to feed that. Again, give Lampkin a touch, force Miami to double, and then play out of the double team.
It just feels like every possession that Syracuse has done that, where they've gotten a touch for Lampkin on the post. He's either scoring the ball or he's kicking out, getting shooters open. Whether the shots go down is one story or another, but good things happen when Lampkins get touches.
Yeah, absolutely, and he's been good out of the double team. I think that's the key thing. He's not holding it too long. He's seeing it coming, and then he's getting rid of the ball so guys can make plays off of that.
Starling hits both free throws. He's got Syracuse back within 4. Ugachukwu isolates on that right side. Coach Autry yelling at J.J. Starling to push the ball. He wants more transition. Lampkin muscles it up, way short. Kidd corrals the rebound.
That was better that time by Kidd, pushing him a little further away from the basket.
Bethea, and there's a whistle against Syracuse. It goes against Kyle Cuff.
And Red Autry having a conversation about whether or not that was on the floor, but I like what Bethea did right there. Again, don't settle for a pull-up jumper. Try to force the action, get yourself through the free throw line. And he's played a really nice under-control game today. Again, the talent, that's never been a question for him. And Bill Courtney and staff really have worked with him. Watching film, in particular on the defensive side, they said that's really the area of where he's been challenged. And he's gotten better over the last few weeks on the defensive side.
Well, he's already got 12 tonight. His career high is 17. Cuff leaves it for Lampkin. Kick out. Starling drills the 3.
Good things happen when Eddie Lampkin touches the ball. Again, he is being unselfish with the ball. Beautiful offense. Roll, see the double team come early, and then give it up.
Cleveland got the defender up, draws a whistle. Matthew Cleveland going to the free throw line, out of the timeout.
Athlete, a guy that can play multiple positions, one of the better defenders in college basketball, but his offensive production and his ability to knock down threes, I think that makes him a really attractive guy to play at the next level in the NBA.
A very efficient 19 points tonight for Matthew Cleveland on just 8 shot attempts, and that's the game's first missed free throw. Miami was 8 of 8 at that point. Syracuse was 10 for 10.
Of course, we talk about his great, and we jinx him,
Oh,
and he misses both. All right.
Oh, my goodness. That is on us, I think.
Well, I tell you, Miami, impressive what they've been able to do offensively, but defensively, this has been a problem for them. Controlling Eddie Lampkin. He has been unselfish. He's giving up the ball. That's another assist for Eddie Lampkin. I've been so impressed with his passing. Yes, he can score in the post, but his passing out of double teams before they get there really has been the key in this game.
Bethea does not have the answer. 4 assists for the big man Lampkin, and Syracuse, who started 2 of 10 from 3, has now hit 4 consecutive. Good pass, but it slips through the hands of Davis. Cleveland threw it out of bounds, looking for Bethea. They were not on the same page.
Yeah, Bethea wanted that one thrown up. That's a missed opportunity. If he throws that lob, Bethea definitely goes and gets it. Again, not on the same page, and better transition defense that time by Syracuse to break up what looked like it was going to be a lob dunk or layup.
That's what Coach Autry said has been the biggest source of trouble for them recently, is the transition defense. They have not been getting back and getting stops. Starling gets cut off. 5 to shoot. Bell's been great off the bench, but lost the handle. And a jump ball. It's 0.3 of a second on the shot clock, but it won't matter. The possession arrow gives it to Miami.
That's great help defense. Ugachukwu, again, the freshman, little things like that. Playing the gap, get in, knows the shot clock's down, doesn't foul. It comes up with a jump ball, possession Miami. And
Miami led by as many as 9 right before halftime. Syracuse has stormed back thanks to the 3-point shooting to tie it at 52. Bethea lost the handle. Syracuse has a 3-on-1. Cuff all the way to the basket, and that's Syracuse's first lead since it was 6-5.
That's tough by Cuff. Through contact.
Cleveland right to the basket, ties it right back up. 7th straight game that Matthew Cleveland has gone over 20 points.
Not sure anybody else is playing as good as Matthew Cleveland in the ACC. You talked about it. That's now 6 games over 20.
Kidd has a 1-on-1 inside against Davis. Skips to the corner. Cleveland darts down the baseline. Ball was whisked away, but he regathers. Kidd floats it in. Miami's back in front.
Oh, if I'm Syracuse, put Lampkin like you've been doing, but another turnover.
Ugachukwu throws it down.
I'm going to say it again. Future very bright for this freshman point guard. I talked about his defense in the gap. Another steal.
A 6-0 run.
Must touch the ball on every offensive possession when he's in the game. Run your offense to him and then make plays from there.
14, 7, and 4 tonight for Eddie Lampkin, and we've said it over and over again. Anytime Lampkin gets a touch in the post, good things happen for Syracuse. Syracuse took a lead momentarily, but it's a 6-0 run for Miami to put the Hurricanes up 4, and Matthew Cleveland with the steal. Back-to-back possessions with a turnover for Syracuse. Cleveland whips it back. Kidd backing down, spins to the left hand, left it short.
Well, the other thing we have not talked about, Syracuse without Donnie Freeman, again, their talented freshman. He provided spacing, yes, rebounding the ball, 13 points per game, but also he was a very good shooter. So again, that provided spacing, in particular paired up with Lampkin. Teams really couldn't double from the 4.
Lampkin muscles it, but missed the dunk. Wow.
Everything but the finish. Beautiful spin move and just unable to complete the dunk. But again, that's a break if you're Miami.
Great pass from Cleveland underneath, but Johnson's shot was blocked from behind by Majstorovic. Chris Bell hangs and hits.
That's great offense in transition. Chris Bell matching the athleticism of Cleveland, going right at him.
14 on an efficient 5 of 6 off the bench for Chris Bell tonight. Ugachukwu spits it out to the corner. Open look for 3. Rims out.
Can't ask for a better look.
Chance to tie or even take the lead on this trip for Syracuse. Majstorovic kicks out. Carlos hits the 3 and the Orange are in front.
Well, the bigs passing. That time, Majstorovic with the pass out of the post. And Carlos knocks down a huge 3 to put Syracuse up.
A quick 5-0 spurt out of the timeout for Syracuse. Djobet, no. Rather, State McCray. Hesitation. Carlos, great bounce into Lampkin. Timeout Miami on a 7-0 run for Syracuse.
Transition offense right here. The big Majstorovic out of the double. Kept Miami out of transition, and then they've gotten back out in transition and gotten some easy opportunities. If you're Miami, you got to start getting back to paint touches and then go from there. They've been unable to break down this Syracuse defense over the last 3-minute stretch.
Djobet ties it up right away.
And just as simple as that right there. Again, dribble drive by Cleveland, get into the paint, collapse the defense, kick it out. That's a great response by Miami.
Hurricanes had missed 3 of their last 4 threes, but that one ties it up. Starling cannot give Syracuse the lead back, and Kidd corrals the rebound. Bethea works off the screen, gets in the lane against Lampkin, and he draws a whistle. Coach Autry beside himself. He said Lampkin was standing straight up the whole time.
And let's see if he was shifting. Again, he had his hand straight up, but we'll see whether or not he was moving. Let's see. Yeah, he's still shifting. Now, again, he's moving right there. If he stands still, then I think he's fine, but he was shifting a little bit. Definitely had his hand straight up. But, again, the ref in great position that time, saw him moving, and I think that was a pretty easy call for the refs.
It was just the second on Lampkin, so big man is not in foul trouble whatsoever. True freshman, Bethea's up to 14 points now, just 3 shy of his career high, and he puts Miami up a field goal.
Let's see where Syracuse counters.
They're wanting to get it into Lampkin. Shot clock dips to 5. Starling one-on-one against Kidd, all the way to the cup, can't flip it in. Rebound tapped around, Miami comes away with it. Kane's out and running, and Cleveland's the last to touch it. Syracuse ball.
That's a missed opportunity right there. They basically had a 4-on-1. Just an errant pass, and Cleveland unable to come down with it.
Still have not been able to get it into Lampkin the last 2 possessions. And that pass sails way over the head of Bell. Under 8 minutes to play. We've got a great one
of this game for Syracuse, staying above that cut line to make the ACC tournament. And Miami has really played well on both ends. Both teams, it's been a well-played game. And let's see how they close this one out.
Cleveland rises for three, swirls in. Game high 24 for Matthew Cleveland, who's averaging more than 25 a game the last 7.
That's just a breakdown, again, of dribble drive. Cleveland has been hot, cannot overhelp and give him a wide open look.
Syracuse finally gets a touch for Lampkin, and again, Malcolm, good things happen when he gets a touch.
It's either a bucket or assist, and again, another nice pass that time out of the double team by Lampkin. Little soft lob pass.
5 assists for the big man to go along with 16 points and 8 rebounds. Bethea, deep three, got it!
Well, when we spoke with head coach Bill Courtney about the X factor, he said Jalil Bethea. You asked him, is there a guy that needs to get going, that's kind of that X factor guy, and he did not hesitate. He has answered, I think, one of his best games, if not his best game, in a Miami uniform.
Carlos rattles in the 3 for Syracuse to pull it back to a 1-score game, and Adrian Autry takes a 30-second timeout.
And they've all been within the flow of the offense in half court or getting out in transition. And to me, look, you know what Matthew Cleveland brings, but I think Bethea really has been the difference in this game, the offensive boost that he has given them. Big reason why they're up 3.
Yeah, his 17 tonight match a career high, 24 from Cleveland, who scored over 20 in 7 straight games now. Djobet attacks one-on-one against Majstorovic, who had great defense.
Great job that time, sliding his feet and then getting the block without fouling.
Syracuse has led for less than a minute tonight. Down by 3, 5:45 to play. Lampkin lobs to Majstorovic, and there is a foul on the floor against Miami. Jalil Bethea.
And fortunate Miami right there that the foul was called because, again, right here, Bethea trying to grab his arm down, and that was a clear layup if the foul is not going, if the foul's not called. So, again, a break for Miami right there.
And only the second team foul against the Hurricanes, too. Starling darts into the lane, squeezes between 2. No, Lampkin's second chance won't go either. And it's a whistle against Miami. Foul against A.J. State and McCray. His 3rd.
Lampkin continues to crash the glass. We talked about it. Leads the ACC in offensive rebounds per game. Close to 4 offensive rebounds per game.
It's another double-double for him, too. 10th of the season. 16 and 10, as well as 6 assists for Lampkin. Bell, his 3 blocked. Bethea swings. Djobet spots up and buries it.
Well, you can see the progression in Jalil Bethea's game. Earlier on, he may have tried to force it. Simple play, dribble drive, kick.
Bell can't get the bounce on the layup. Here come the Canes again. Cleveland transition 3 offline. Offensive rebound. Djobet's got 5 straight for Miami.
Right now, Syracuse 0 for 4 on their last 4 offensive possessions.
5 to shoot. Carlos step back, contested 2, springs out. Bethea up ahead, pass is intercepted. That's J.J. Starling who comes flying in. Now he flies down the court, takes the contact, +1.
In transition, one of the best in the ACC, J.J. Starling, right here. Take the hit, eyes on the rim the entire time, body control, and one. That's a big-time finish by one of the better guards in the ACC, J.J. Starling, and that's a big bucket to stop this run by Miami.
Fourth foul against A.J. State McCray sends J.J. Starling to the line, a chance to make this a 5-point game with just over 4 to go. 16 in the game for Starling. Great defense from Carlos. He slaps it out of bounds. It does stay with Miami.
Carlos has been solid both ends. Defensively right there, pressuring the ball. He's hit some big shots, made some nice assists. If you're Bethea right here, again, you got to be careful with the ball.
It's a foul against Carlos, body foul. 5-point game with less than 4 to go. We got a great finish here in Coral Gables. Get 24, Malcolm. A lot of leading scorers on a team can do that, but for me, it's the 8 for 11 from the field. It's the efficiency that he does it with.
Yeah, really, again, right now, putting on a show for these NBA scouts in attendance.
A.J. State McCray backing down Starling. 10 to shoot. Spins baseline, regathers, puts it in.
And that's just isolation right there. Again, they like that matchup. Thought he had a clear size advantage on Starling. Let him go to work on the block.
A hand check is called against Lynn Kidd.
I like what Syracuse is doing, though. They continue to put Lampkin in ball screens and then dive him hard to the basket. Miami has countered, though. Again, they've just packed the lane in, and they've avoided allowing those post-entry passes when Lampkin dives down to the post.
They've really been taking him away in this second half.
Again, here you go. You see 2 bodies on or around him.
Starling spins down the lane, floats it up, too strong, and the rebound tapped to Cleveland.
Pretty good look for Starling. Just unable to hit that short, a little floater.
Oh, great defense from Carlos. He's got the steal. One-on-one against Bethea. Takes the contact, didn't get a whistle. Miami has numbers, but wisely they bring it out, content to take some time off the clock with less than 3 to go and up 3 possessions. Cleveland. Falling away, got it. That's a tough shot from Matthew Cleveland.
And that's a set play. Again, they're just trying to get Cleveland isolated on the post. Clearly, they like that matchup, and they just went right at it, let Cleveland post up.
Lampkin gets a touch deep in the post. Got it, plus a quick timeout from Adrian Autry. And it's a full timeout with 2:16 to play.
Right, we've seen a pretty good game, both teams executing at a high level offensively. Syracuse now, after the timeout, picking up full court.
Still a 7-point lead for Miami. This pressure has caused a little bit of trouble for Miami, but they easily break the press this time. Miami opened ACC play 0-10, but the Hurricanes have a chance to make it 2 wins in their last 3 games. Shot clock's at 5. Cleveland blows by Lampkin, easy lay-in. He's got 28.
Give credit to Lynn Kidd. He cleared out that path for Matthew Cleveland.
Starling, teardrop, no. Putback is there for Lampkin. There was a little bit of a delay there on Paul Djobet, came up limping a little bit, but we're right back to action. Foul against Syracuse, and that is Jaquan Carlos.
If you're Miami right now, you don't want to go to the corner. If you're Jalil Bethea, you want to stay out of that corner right there. You know Syracuse is trapping. You do not want to go to the dead corner. And then you have to, nice job. These guys have been locked in. We said it when we walked in the shoot around. Again, they're a team that has really been focused. The energy was there. See if they can close this one out against Syracuse.
Kidd tied up in the corner against 3 defenders, finally gets rid of it. Bethea's got a 2-on-1. Bethea glides to the cup. Count it!
Well, he was a highly recruited kid coming out. The coaching staff talked about his talent. Never in doubt right here. Beautiful press breaker, and Jalil Bethea and one. That's a big-time finish through contact. His eyes never left the rim. Concentration on point. And this has been his best game as a Miami Hurricane.
Won't hit the free throw, but it is a new career high 19 for Bethea. Starling with the reverse won't go, but the tap in from Lampkin. Djobet trouble getting it in, and there's a foul on Syracuse. That is Kyle Cuff, who's called for the foul. 1-and-1 coming up for Miami after Cuff's 4th foul.
And he had him there. Cuff, though, definitely had, it looked from this vantage point, had his right arm hooked around the waist of Cleveland. They were close to getting a 5-second call right there.
Matthew Cleveland shooting the 1-and-1. He's 6 of 8 at the line.
Cleveland now with 29 points. Efficient, you talked about it, his efficiency, 10 of 13. Now 8 of 10 from the free throw line, 5 assists. He's done a little bit of everything.
And his 3rd 30-point game in the last 7 games. He has been on an unreal tear in the last few weeks. Adrian Autry just said score quick to his guys. So Starling gets downhill, lays it in. That was quick.
He is one of the fastest guys. Inline to inline, once he gets downhill.
Wow, the true freshman point guard. Ugachukwu stepped on the baseline. Miami turns it over.
And immediately, offense to defense, get Lampkin. This is a great trap right here by Storovich. Doing a nice job coming up with the turnover. Again, the trap was there. It was tight.
Starling, way short on the 3, barely grazed the rim. It is saved into Starling. Goes right at the rim, draws a whistle. And with 50.7 seconds to go, Starling goes to the line, a chance to cut this to a 2-score game.
Great time management right here, end of game situations. Again, 50.7 seconds left. That's an eternity in basketball, the way they're playing it right now. Syracuse doing a great job, offense to defense substitutions. And the key thing is their full court pressure. They're bringing the trap, and they're not allowing the Miami players to dribble or pass out of the trap. Again, I'm going to say it again. If you're Miami, you cannot catch the ball in the dead corner. Try to catch it up a little bit higher, but when you go down to that baseline in the corner, that's a difficult situation and place to pass out of.
Starling's got 20. He's 5 of 5 at the line, and it's a 5-point game. Majstorovic checks back in, like you talked about. He's been the one that's been at the head of that press, forcing the traps. Full court pass, Cleveland got behind Bell, and Cleveland is fouled by Bell. Matthew Cleveland goes to the free throw line with 30, a chance to set a new career high.
No safety back there, and that's a great home run play again. They were face guarding Syracuse, and Bell almost with the recovery, but let's see from this angle right here. Yeah, he definitely got a lot of body. Again, he got the ball on top, but definitely the body. That's a heads-up play, though, by Miami again. Syracuse face guard. You got to be careful if you're Syracuse. You got to have somebody back, but you can't face guard all 4 guys without a safety.
Cleveland hits both. He's got 32. That's a new career high for the senior. 7-point game. Starling right down the lane, and he's fouled by Djobet.
And that's heads-up play again by Starling. No need for a 3. Now, again, if it comes off a dribble drive kick, that's fine, but 39.9 seconds left. Still plenty of time to go for a quick 2 and then set up your defense.
Starling does hit the first 2-possession game with 39.9 to go.
Starling has equally been impressive in this game.
Rattles out on the free throw. He goes 1 of 2. Bethea's got the rebound and a foul against Carlos. 4 fouls against Carlos. Sends Bethea to the line with 38 seconds to play and a 6-point lead.
Well, Matthew Cleveland, we gave him the MVP, and rightfully so. 32 points in this game, but for me, the X factor has been this guy at the line, the freshman, Jalil Bethea. He has been impressive. 20 points now in this game, 4 assists, and I think the biggest thing is he's been very unselfish with the ball, again, making plays for his teammate. Know he can score. Knocking down free throws now. His
first 20-point game of his career puts Miami back in front 8. Bell, quick 3, rattles in and out. State McCray flies in for the rebound, and Miami did not need to do that.
And Bethea immediately looked at his bench and said, my bad. They'll learn from that, but that's when, again, you don't need it. Let him foul you.
Starling maneuvering through the lane. He draws another whistle. Goes to the free throw line.
Again, that's not a good foul by Kidd. You want to contest, but you certainly do not want to put them on the free throw line and give them a chance to set up their defense. Starling now 22 points in this game.
Make it 23 with the second free throw. 2-possession game again with 18.3 to go. They get it in. State McCray, and that pass was intercepted, but a foul comes in right before it against Lucas Taylor.
And that is a break. Chris Bell read that perfectly out of the double team. Came up with a steal, but the foul was called beforehand. Again, that's very lucky break for Miami. Yeah, right there again. Fortunate because Bell was coming for the steal.
State McCray misses the first. It is double bonus, so he gets 1 more, and it's a big free throw to try to make it a 3-score game.
Yeah, this one is huge right here, 16.8. If you're Syracuse, you definitely now need a 3.
Does hit the second, 7-point game. Starling can fly. He gets into the lane, hangs, doesn't hit, got his own miss, and the putback. I don't know that 2s do a whole lot of good right now, Malcolm.
And now the key thing for Miami, inbound the ball. If you're Syracuse, don't get beat long again.
They faked it. Get it in, State McCray, and there's a foul. It's against J.J. Starling, so free throws coming up for A.J. State and McCray with Miami up 5, 7.1 to go.
It's the safe play, but Cleveland, again, had a clear shot down deep. And again, if you're State McRae, you got to get that ball up near your chin. That's just too loose, out away from your body. Get that into your body.
First free throw falls. 6-point lead for Bill Courtney and his team, who are just 7.1 seconds away from 2 wins in their last 3 games after starting ACC play 0-10. 7-point lead. Starling kicks. Taylor spots up for a corner 3, rims out. Bell the offensive rebound. Putback won't go, and Miami wins it 91-84 over Syracuse.
Impressive win by Miami.